No one cares what we think, so we won't tell you what we think. Doug Maurice, Bill Landis, Ari Wasserman. Of course, we're talking about the Ohio State quarterbacks. What will Urban Meyer do? After the game, when Ohio State beat Penn State on Saturday, we talked about what we would do this week. Now we're going to try to read Urban Meyer's mind, which we have been terrible at. I think a lot of people have been terrible at, because he's kind of zigged when everybody thought he was going to zag all year with this quarterback decision. Monday, he said he has the idea of what he's going to do, but he hasn't told the quarterbacks yet, so he didn't tell us. Ari, I'm guessing we're going to find out Tuesday or Wednesday. What do you think Urban Meyer is going to do with the Ohio State quarterback situation this week for the game at Rutgers?
Nobody cares what I think. I think Urban Meyer thinks he's going to do. But what I think Urban Meyer did was he went on cleveland.com on Sunday morning before meeting with 7 recruits and said, oh, that Doug guy, he's got it figured out. I think I'm going to stick with the 2 quarterback system because I think 2 quarterbacks is figuring it out. I think in the perfect world, everybody wants him to pick JT and let him roll. But I think given what we know about how he's handled the quarterback situation up to this point, I don't think it's just going to be cold turkey, Cardale goes to the bench. So I think that Cardale Jones might start, but I think that you'll see JT Barrett's role expand even more, and he's not going to rip the Band-Aid off. He's taking it off slowly, and I think by the end of the year it's going to be JT, but this is just the beginning of JT's continued emergence. Is that a word?
It is a word.
Emergence.
Does Urban Meyer read cleveland.com, yes or no?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Bill Landis.
Not for us, though.
Yeah, he reads it for the entertainment reviews and the
Big Walking Dead.
The Walking Dead. Troy Smith, baby. You guys should really read it. He is the Walking Dead expert in America. He does a great job with those recaps.
Daniel Klein with Empire, too. Do you guys watch Empire? Empire's awesome.
I'll just go.
Bill Landis, get in Urban Meyer's mind and tell us what he's going to do.
He's going to go to a deli. I think he's going to stick with both. I think people were, and maybe I was too, a little quick to jump the gun after the Penn State game and say that JT should be the quarterback. After going back and watching it, I don't think Cardale Jones played that bad. I think Penn State came in with a game plan that said, Ohio State, run the ball to beat us. You're not going to throw the ball. So Urban Meyer had to change things, and I think the fact that he had another quarterback that he could bring into the game and completely change the game plan when a team dared him to do something, I think he might like that. So I think he's going to roll with 2 guys and maybe adapt on the fly. And if a team says throw it, then he'll put Cardale. And if a team says run it, we'll put JT in. And we have that sort of 1-2 punch to come at you with whatever you try to defend us with.
I wrote Sunday, as Ari said, that maybe the answer is there is no real answer at quarterback. That they're going to keep kind of doing this thing and play it by ear. But then on Monday, I asked Urban Meyer, sort of along those lines, like, is it possible that 2 quarterbacks might be better than 1 quarterback? Not just a thing you sort of have to do, but is it potentially an advantage if you're keeping the opposing defense guessing? And then he sort of didn't go there. He said, well, if it looks like it did against Maryland, maybe, but it didn't look quite that great, early on with Cardale Jones against Penn State. So I guess what I think is stick with this plan for Rutgers. Cardale Jones is the starter. As you guys said, I think that the opportunities for JT Barrett increase. And then we talked about this a little bit off camera. Then comes the bye week. And during the bye week is the time when things can really change. So I don't want to say this is a last chance for Cardale Jones, but I think if and I agree, I think all along the way there's been a perception, sometimes even maybe among the coaches, that this has been more on Cardale than it really has been, at least the way they presented it to us. We're not pretending that Bill's rewatch is more film than what they watch. I'm not pretending. Maybe Bill's. But Cardale's numbers, and in the moment, things look worse sometimes, but it does feel like sometimes the pass blocking is not as good as the run blocking, and with JT, they run more. And sometimes the receivers have not been great this year. The receivers have not been great. Michael Thomas is really good. Braxton Miller has flashed here and there. They still miss Devin Smith, which is the thing that makes Cardale Jones the best he is. Last best chance for Cardale Jones, if he looks really good, I think you can continue the Maryland system. If it looks more like Penn State, I would not be shocked if after the bye week they go to JT Barrett. Last thoughts, Ari.
I've got so many. I just don't understand why, if things look better with the running game, like you said, against Penn State, that's what Penn State was giving. It's not like JT can't throw. Like this idea. I know. Yeah, I guess he hasn't, but we know for a fact he can because he did it for 10 games last year.
But maybe that also the point. He has not thrown much this year. Maybe you open up the throw game with JT when he's in against Rutgers as one last reassurance that if you are going to go to him, this JT this year right now, and I don't disagree with you. There's nothing that JT did last year that we would say have any question that he can do it this year, except we're like in week 8 and he hasn't done some of the things. It's very weird. There's still some unanswered questions to me of like, why hasn't JT been allowed to be the guy he was last year? Why hasn't he looked like that guy? Like we're 2/3 of the way into this season. But anyway, we don't think JT Barrett's going to be the starter. I think you're going to find a lot of other people out in the world right now who, if they were on the show with us making this video, they would be saying, expect JT Barrett to be named the starting quarterback this week. None of the three of us think that, and we have been wrong the whole way. Ari Wasserman, Bill Landis, Doug Lesmerises, thanks for watching at cleveland.com.